Hi, well, welcome. Thank you, Daniel and Ben. Thanks for talking to Comics Beat today and about American-born Chinese. Just wondering what was both your first experience of the original American-born Chinese graphic novel?
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I know it's such a prolific graphic novel because it's like often taught in like high schools, I know, and like yeah, even at colleges. But I grew up in a sort of a small town in Minnesota, so I was not exposed to it growing up. And so the first time I read it was when I got the audition.
Oh,
I was working in Connecticut on a different movie, so I went to the Stamford Public Library and I found it in the graphic novel section, and I was like crying on the floor of the graphic novel section of Stanford Public Library. But yeah, I mean, immediately on reading it for the first time, I was like, it would be the greatest honor of my life to work on this project. So yeah.
for
Awesome.
me, it was my nephews had it, and I was at my sister's house and looking just in their room, and I saw it. I'm like, "What's this? American Born Chinese?" And I pick it up. It's like a graphic novel, and I start thumbing through it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is really interesting." And then like all the kids of their generation had read it already, and I'd never heard about it, and so I borrowed it from them and read it, and I was like, "This is amazing! Like, I wish I had this stuff for me growing up."
Mhm.
It was a really cool story, on three levels that integrated all kinds of things that I struggled with growing up. And so that's why I wish that I had it. And it became a really seminal book for all people of that generation. My nephews are now like college grads, but like they grew up with it. And so they were the ones that introduced it to me.
Wow. Now, Daniel, you're American, but you've worked so much in the Chinese film industry,
Hmm.
which is a little unusual. But I mean, is there anything you learned about the differences between the two industries that you brought to working on this project?
Um, Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting is like, especially specifically for this character, the Monkey King, there are so many versions of it. Americans don't really realize this, but this character, like everybody in Asia, not just China, like grew up with the Journey to the West story of the Monkey King. So they all know it. So it's come in like comic book form, animation form, various movies, like literally hundreds of movies, different of movies. I've been asked to play Monkey King in the Journey to the West like at least two or three times, and I've always turned it down because everyone knows that version of the story. And so I was like, I'm not sure what I can bring to this story that anyone else hasn't done already. And what was special about this time was that in American Born Chinese, Monkey King is an older Monkey King. It's past the Journey to the West story. So it's like a father. And he's a father. He's got this son that's gone down to Earth to go meet Ben and do some mischievous stuff, kind of like when he was little. And so he's got to deal with that. But then he's also got to deal with this war that's happening in heaven at the same time. So it's like a different take on that character that really kind of attracted me to it. And so understanding the Monkey King, the original Monkey King story and what we're deviating from was very helpful for me in understanding how to play this character in this version.
Absolutely. Just real fast though, for Ben, did you have to learn Kung Fu for this?
I did not have to. I mean, I guess I can't
Oh,
spoil too much, but it was like we were joking. Me and Jimmy, who plays, my friend who does a lot of kung fu on this show, we were joking that like if they ever make action figures for the show, like Jimmy's action figure is gonna come with like iron staff and like fireball
All these
shooting
weapons,
action.
yeah.
Yeah, and then my action figure is gonna come with like backpack that's slightly wet on the bottom because he put it in coffee.
Composition book.
Yeah, right. Crack
that's
iPad.
great. That's great. Well, we can't wait to see the show come out on Disney Plus. Thank you again, Daniel and Ben. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. Thank
thank
you.
you.